There are 74 names for sugar. The reason is because the food industry likes it that way. They can use a different name for sugar on the backside of the package, and a different sugar can be number 1 or 2 or 3, 4. And when you add it up, it's number 1. They hide it in plain sight, but virtually every one of those 74 is because of the fructose. That's the problem. So what is glucose and what is fructose? And while we're at it, what is sucrose and high fructose corn syrup too? Glucose is what plants make in starch. Fructose is what plants make in sugar. Starch is not sweet, sugar is sweet. Glucose is not very sweet. Fructose is very sweet. Fructose is addictive because it stimulates the reward center of the brain and tells you, this feels good, I want more, in the same way cocaine and alcohol do. This makes sense because fructose and alcohol are metabolized the same way and do the same things metabolically in the body and also centrally in the brain. Fructose and alcohol both lead to Alzheimer's disease. Fructose is half of sucrose, half of dietary sugar, half of high fructose corn syrup, half of maple syrup, honey, and agave. If it's sweet and it's natural, it's fructose. That's the way it works. Fructose has metabolic detriments that glucose does not. Glucose stimulates mitochondria to work better. Fructose inhibits mitochondria from working better. Fructose inhibits 3 enzymes involved in mitochondrial function. Bottom line, fructose inhibits mitochondrial function, inhibits ATP generation, inhibits energy metabolism, and makes you sick. The goal is to keep the fructose down. How do you do that? Well, get rid of the dietary sugar. The problem is, there are 74 names for them, and the food industry uses them all. So until we have policies that address this issue in Mumbai or London or throughout the world, you have to be on your guard. Another problem with fructose is it's not measured by the CGM device. Glucose is monitored by the CGM. Fructose is not. When you consume something with a lot of sugar, your CGM will rise because of the glucose. But you won't even see the contribution of the fructose because it's not being picked up by the CGM. Because fructose does all of these things that glucose doesn't, it's multifold worse, and you don't even measure it on the CGM. So it's absolutely essential to try to keep your dietary sugar consumption low. How low? Well, maximum 25 grams per day. We hardly need it. There is no biochemical reaction in any vertebrate organism that requires dietary fructose. Now, we can tolerate a certain amount, up to about 25 grams of sugar, therefore 12 grams of fructose per day. That would be 6 teaspoons of added sugar per day. An orange juice has 11 teaspoons. A chocolate bar, 7 teaspoons. Bottom line is, if you want dessert, have dessert. Just don't eat dessert for breakfast, lunch, dinner, and snacks.